Namaskar and a very, very good morning to all of you. I welcome His Excellency, Governor of West Bengal, Dr. Shri C.V. Ananda Bose, our guest of honor, Nobel Laureate Professor Abdulrazak Gurnah, Shri Samarendra Kumar, Curator Secretary, Victoria Memorial Hall, Shri Sarvesh Kumar, Chief Corporate Communications, Tata Steel, and our Festival Director, Ms. Malavika Banerjee, and each and all of you to the much awaited the Tata Steel Kolkata Literary Meet in association with Victoria Memorial Hall. The city's annual date with books, ideas, conversations, and memories that will last forever. Before I begin, and we have this historic inauguration, can we have a round of applause for everyone just to show the spirit of Kolkata, which is also excited and welcoming you all to the 12th edition to this chapter. May I have the honor of inviting Shri Samarendra Kumar, Curator Secretary, Victoria Memorial Hall, to kindly say a few words.
A very good morning and namaskar to all of you. Respected His Excellency Dr. C.V. Anand Bose, Honorable Governor of West Bengal and the Chairman, Board of Trustees of Victoria Memorial Hall, and the Chief Guest of today's function, the guest of honor, Professor Abdul Razak Gurnah, the Nobel Prize winner for Literature in 2021, Ms. Malvika Banerjee, Director of Kolkata Literary Meet 2024, uh, Mr. Sarvesh Kumar, Chief Corporate Communication, Tata Steel, distinguished authors, enthusiastic book lovers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and friends from media. On behalf of Victoria Memorial Hall, it gives me immense pleasure and to welcome you all to the 12th edition of Kolkata Literary Meet 2024 in the beautiful lawns of Victoria Memorial Hall, one of the most visited monument of the cultural space in India. I feel privileged to be part of this event. We are extremely pleased to welcome Dr. C.V. Anand Bose, the Honorable Governor of West Bengal, for his kind presence today. Apart from being eminent servant, housing expert, and innovator, and a man of ideas, he is a prolific writer and columnist. Dr. Bose has published more than 30 books in English, Malayalam, and Hindi, including novels, short stories, poems, and essays. Some of his books have become bestsellers and which are going to be showcased in this meet also. We thank you, sir, for your valuable presence and kind advice in managing the affairs of Victoria Memorial Hall, sir. I express my delight to welcome Professor Nobel Laureate Professor Abdulrazak Gurra, who is well known for his novels about the effects of colonialism, fate of the refugee in the gulf between cultures and continents, and the displacement in the world. Your writings and thoughts are inspirational for many people across the continents. Thank you for coming to Victoria Memorial Hall, sir. We also welcome all the distinguished authors and panelists who are going to deliberate and illuminate us by their thoughts and experiences during the next 5 days of this Calcutta Literary Meet. I'm sure it is going to be an insightful experience for all of us here. The Literary Meet could not have been a success with the enduring effort of Ms. Malvika Banerjee, the director of the meet, and the support of Tata Steel, especially Mr. Sarvesh Kumar. I thank them for their commendable work and also welcome them. I also welcome and applaud the collaborative efforts of all the stakeholders, including the staff, security personnel involved in making the Kolkata Literary Meet a grand success. Kolkata is home to some of the most celebrated writers in modern Indian literature, and has gained a reputation as the country's unofficial literary capital in the recent times. If you think about the Bengali literature, names like Raja Raman Roy, Ishwarchand Vidyasagar, Michael Madhusudan Dutt, Bankim Chatterjee, and of course, none other than Rabindranath Tagore, the first non-European Nobel Prize laureate, immediately comes to our mind. The contemporary authors are no less than others too. In next 5 days, we are going to listen some of them here in this Calcutta Literary Meet. I once again welcome you all and wish you a great 5 engrossing days with books and ideas at Victoria Memorial Hall. Thank you, Namaskar, and Jai Hind.
Thank you, Bahut Shukriya, sir. I now have the pleasure of inviting Chief Corporate Communications, Tata Steel, Sri Sharvesh Kumar, to kindly say a few words. Sri Sarvesh Kumar.
Good afternoon, Honorable Governor of West Bengal, Shri C.V. Ananda Bose, Guest of Honor, Nobel Laureate Professor Abdulrazak Gurnah, Victoria Memorial Hall Secretary and Curator Shri Samanendra Kumar, Curator of the meet, Malvika Banerjee. It has indeed been a pleasure all these years to be part of this festival. What started in a very small way 14 years back has, assumed a very international flavor and color. Tata Steel has been part of this festival for the last 10 years, and we have seen it grow in stature last decade or so. This particular event now has attracted authors, writers from different genres, sports personalities from across the world to grace the event and share their thoughts on various platforms. For us in Tata Steel, it's a it's a philosophy that we follow is that our attempt is to give back to the community, to the society in which we operate. And we have been part of various events, be it in sports, health and fitness. We run the largest running events in the eastern part of the country, and we just had TSK 25, which had around 17,500 participants. We encourage sports in a big way, whether it's chess, archery, hockey, golf, football. We have a team, JFC. Similarly, this platform we wanted to support to have authors, thought leaders from across the world come and share their thoughts. And we have been privileged and honored to have such huge personalities gracing this occasion. KLM this year, like last year, we are honored to have again a very significant lineup. And over the next 5 years in Victoria Memorial and across some other locations of Calcutta, we'll have the honor of listening to these authors, writers. We also have some in plays and theaters, and I would urge the city of Calcutta to partake in all this festivity. Last but not the least, I would like to express on behalf of Tata Steel, the Ministry of Culture, Government of India, Honorable Governor, for his blessings, Malvika, Jeet from Game Plan for their superb work over the last 10 years, media fraternity who are here, and most importantly, the great support we have got from the city of Calcutta. We have had wonderful experience with this city over generations, and we are so proud to again come back to this city with the 14th or 15th edition of Kolkata Literary Meet. Thank you. All the very best, and enjoy the next 5 years of festivity. Thank you.
Only when great minds come together, the best is born. And it gives me immense pleasure to now invite Miss Malavika Banerjee, the director of the festival, the ideator, the curator, to kindly take this momentous occasion forward.
Good morning, friends. Uh, I can't believe it's that time of the year again when we meet. Friends on the dais, His Excellency Professor Gurnah, Mr. Kumar, Mr. Kumar. So it's wonderful to have all of you here for what is our 12th edition of this festival and the 10th that is being held at Victoria Memorial Hall. It would be inappropriate of me to praise my own festival. I feel it's very close to my heart, which is why I'm saying my festival. But it's a festival of this whole city. and it's the city of Kolkata, its reputation as a place where people love books, that enables us to bring the finest authors, the finest thinkers, and the finest artists of our time to this city. This is our most diverse festival. The festival has many new guests like Professor Gurnah, and we also welcome Ms. Sudha Murthy, who is here with us right now, and several others who have come to this festival. Damon is sitting at the back because he claims he's a shrinking violet. Mark, so there's a huge number of authors who are coming to the festival for the first time. And then there are those we revel in inviting again and again. I can see Amitabh, Ghosh, Deborah, who have been friends of this festival like no other. And of course, this festival is what it is because it's because of Kolkata and the people who come for it. It's a free festival. This is one festival where the friends of the festival don't have to pay to be friends. We welcome all and we are grateful for that luxury thanks to Tata Steel. They have been the most staunch and supportive partners of this whole journey, and I thank them. Similarly, His Excellency, thank you for continuing our tryst with Victoria Memorial Hall, for making it even easier because we now have our bookstore inside. It's a rare pleasure that we have a the first citizen of the state who loves literature, contributes to it through his books in Malayalam and in English, and supports us. It was a pleasure meeting you because you had ideas for the festival, and the festival's program was enriched by that. And finally, Professor Gurna, we met during a test match with India lost, but meeting you made me a bit of a winner that day. It's an absolute pleasure for us to invite you and for you to have accepted the invitation and be our first Nobel laureate in literature to grace this festival. We are truly grateful. And now I'll invite you to speak. It's great to know that you speak to maps, and now it's even better to know that you'll be speaking to us. Over to you, Professor Gurna.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that welcome, and thank you for inviting me here. Um, Indeed, I did meet you, Malvika, at a test match, which was the World Test Championship at the Oval in London. It was a rather tragic event in the end because India lost, uh, but it was a happy occasion in other ways. There were so many former Indian test players in the box, so whom I was meeting for the first time, and that was great too. Um, anyway, one of the results is that Malvika then invited me to come here and join you today. Whenever I say to people, we're going to Kolkata, they say, oh, really, that's a beautiful place. That's a beautiful city, or something of that order anyway. Nobody says, oh, it's overcrowded, it's full of traffic and smog or anything like that. No, no, it's a beautiful city. That's what everybody keeps saying. And that's what I've been hearing today. So it must be true. Anyway, it's fun to be here. It's great to be here and to see some old friends already and to make new ones as well. It's indeed an honor to be asked to open, to, or rather to be part of the inauguration, along with so many others, including the governor of West Bengal. It's great to be here, and I'm very happy to meet you all. I hope it's a great festival. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Gurna. We'll be hearing from Professor Gurna in the first session that's immediately after the inauguration. I would now like to invite His Excellency Dr. C.V. Ananda Bose to come and say a few words.
Most distinguished guest, Nobel Laureate Professor Abdulrazak Gurnah, the indomitable curator, Malvika Banerjee, director of Kolkata Literary Meet, Sri Sarvesh Kumar, Chief Corporate Communications of Tata, Sri Samrendra Kumar, my esteemed colleague and Secretary of the Victoria Memorial, and the most revered legend, Sudha Murthy, distinguished delegates and friends. I am delighted to be here for this momentous occasion when the much renowned Kolkata Literary Meet is being launched here today. As a student of literature, it has been my dream to share a days with the Nobel Laureate in Literature. That dream has come true today. And as Shakespeare says, as flight to wanton boys are we to the gods. They play with us, they kill us for their sport. To me, as a student of literature who wanted to be with a Nobel Laureate in English literature, God put me with 10 Nobel laureates, but in science and technology. I happen to represent my country, India, in CERN, European Council for Nuclear Research in Geneva. There is only one restaurant there in the campus. So all of us meet there. When I ask somebody, sir, will you please pass the pepper and salt? He gracefully did that. And my friend whispered in my ears, he's a Nobel laureate. There are Nobel laureates and Nobel laureates in the laboratory of CERN, as you know, the 27-kilometer laboratory tunnel, which is there under the Alps in Geneva. I had the occasion to be with the Nobel laureates. Now, my dream has come true. I have a Nobel laureate in literature. When you speak about Nobel laureates in literature, I have always been an ardent follower the great Nobel laureates in literature, particularly from India. We have Rabindranath Tagore and one of the most favorite Nobel laureates in English literature, W.B. Yeats. You know, W.B. Yeats was inspired by Tagore, and this is what Yeats has already acknowledged in many places. What has been the change that takes place when a poet imbued with a sensibility that is rare addresses the world? In Eastern 1916, of the great poem by W.B. Yeats, he speaks about a change which takes place in society when people are inspired by the revolutionary verb. All changed utterly. All changed utterly. A terrible beauty is born. A terrible beauty is born. That is a transformational change which only a poet can undertake. That is why it is said, poets are the unacknowledged legislators of the universe. When Shelley said, poets are the unacknowledged legislators of the universe, I can proudly say, Malvika, you have invited me not to inaugurate Literary Fest. You have invited me to inaugurate this assembly session. Assembly session because poets are the unacknowledged legislators of the universe, and I have the universal legislators assembled here. The imagery which India has given to the Nobel laureate W.B. Yeats of the gyre. The second coming, he speaks of turning and turning in the widening gyre. Turning and turning in the widening gyre, the falcon cannot kill the falconer. Things fall apart, the center cannot hold. This one line leads me to another Nobel laureate or near Nobel laureate. You know, the title of what is Savinga, Chinua Achebe, I'm sorry. Chinua Achebe's famous novel, Things Fall Apart, is coming from this line in W.B. Yeats. Things fall apart, the center cannot hold. Now, when I went through the books of the present Nobel laureates, our great Abdulrazak Gurnah, I could only go through the writings about his book. About his book, the critics have written. See, Bruce King, he says, Gurnah's characters are often uprooted, alienated, unwanted, and therefore are or feel resentful victims.
Here is Masa Mengiste, who says he has written work that is absolutely unflinching and yet, at the same time, completely compassionate and full of heart for the people of East Africa. The native Africa is always in him, even though he writes in English. The native style, the ethos, the soul is always there. There I see a comparison. Of course, great minds are not to be compared with each other, I know that. But it happens in literature. What one great writer thinks may be thought by that person also in the same line in a different way. The second great Nobel laureate, who I have always been admiring in my life as a student of literature, is Eugene O'Neill. Eugene O'Neill's famous book, Emperor Jones. The protagonist, Brutus Jones, has acquired the culture of the United States. He develops in the acquired culture. He forgets his native culture. But when he is trapped in a forest, all his acquired culture deserts him, and like the peeling of an onion, he becomes the native African that he is. His real culture asserts itself. In the process of acculturation, your real self really comes out. You realize it at the end. This is what exactly is given in the Bhagavad Gita. Jadasya dhruvar mrityam. Jadasya dhruvar mrityam. Dhruvam janma mridasya. Tasmad apariharyarthe. Natvam shojidamarhasi. If you are born, you will die. If you die, you'll be reborn. Why fret about them if today be the sweet, if I may quote from Omar Khayyam Surbaya? Yes, what is the basis of this? Ultimately, the thisness, as WBH quote, the thisness in you does not desert you. The collective unconscious, the racial unconscious theory. Carl Jung says that, whatever you are, ultimately you are guided by the collective unconscious, the racial unconscious, which comes out. Your acquired culture research you, and your real culture steps in. It is in this context that the characters who we see in Gurnah's novels are also coming out of life. As Hudson says, a true poem is born out of life. And Sir Philip Sidney said, how do you write? Writing is easy. Look in your heart and write. How it is, it is. So Gurnah looked into his heart and wrote. And in his heart, as a racial unconscious theory says, as we see in the characters of Eugene O'Neill, your acquired culture asserts you. Finally, the real culture asserts itself. That interplay of cultures, yes, the basics of human mind, he has been able to go into the depths of the human mind and realize what is there. That is the greatness of a poet. That is why Shakespeare said, poet, the lunatic, the poet, the lunatic, and the lover are of imagination all compact. A great poet means he must be a little lunatic also. Yes, our poet is here in front of me from Calcutta University. Yes, that is where sublimity reaches. What does a Nobel Prize mean? Nobel Prize means here is a writer who has been able to provide the sublimity in literature. That is what is called supreme poetic utterance. Supreme poetic utterance emanates from the writer who alone is chosen to be the Nobel laureate. In the Bible, it is said, many are called, but few are chosen. That is the way they select the Nobel laureate. Many are called, but few are chosen. He has been the rightful heir, the rightful choice for the Nobel Peace Prize. That is why we are honored to have his presence in Kolkata, not only in the Calcutta Literary Feast. Yes, the governor of Bengal, I would express to you on behalf of the 100 million people of Bengalis, we welcome you, we love you, we respect you, we treat you as part of Bengal because Bengal lays great emphasis on books. I remember as a young boy, my mother used to insist that we read Rabindranath Tagore. I was fascinated by one short story. If my memory is right, it is the Bride's Household. Yes, Bride's Household. Gopal is a young boy. He wants to get married. His relatives take him to the house of a beautiful girl for the negotiation, which goes on before the wedding. Pretty girl, well educated, very good family, rich enough, everything is there. When they came back, Professor Shastri was with them. He said, We should not go in for a matrimonial alliance with that family. Shocked, they asked why. And Professor Shastri said, this family has everything, but they do not have books in the house. Books in the house. The choice before young Gopal, the typical Bengali that he is, Bhadralok, whether I should choose the book or the bride. He had no doubt. His ethos told him, the book, not the bride. That is Bengal. Even to a poor man, Gandhiji said, if you are a poor man, even God can appear only in the slice of a bread, not in Bengal. In Bengal, if a poor man is given a choice, book or bread, he will say book, not bread. That is a land to which I have come. That is the land of Tagore, where I had good fortune of meeting the Nobel Laureate Abdulrazak here. That is as if gold gets fragrance. When we come to the land of Tagore, no, I cannot translate into English, but I do not know where our great Nobel laureate knows Bengali. Don't worry, I also don't know Bengali. But Tagore said, Banglar Mati, Banglar Jol, Banglar Bayu, Banglar Phal, Puno Ho, Puno Ho, Puno Ho, He Bhagavan. That, that is our culture. We love, we love our land. We love the books. This is this is a land which is blessed with the people who always value literature, always value civilization, always value culture. And now, the books of the good books of our Nobel laureate say Gurnah. Milton said, a good book is a precious lifeblood of a master spirit. A good book is a precious lifeblood of a master spirit. That is what the Nobel Society has understood. Yes, there is also a test which is given by Francis Bacon. Some books are to be tasted, some to be swallowed, a few to be chewed and digested. The Nobel laureate's book is which we first taste, then we swallow, then we chew and digest. That is the ultimate power. Yes, I'm glad that we have been able to be here to witness and listen to the great minds in literature in the world here today. Not to sell the books. How does a book sell? A book sells on two grounds. One, the intrinsic merit of the book. Second, the marketing ability. I remember a young novice in my place, Kerala. His first book sold more than 1 million copy in 1 week. More than 1 million copy. Then he found, he told the publisher, there is a spelling mistake on the title of my book. You should change it. They changed the spelling mistake on the title of the book, republished it. Not a single copy sold. You know what was the mistake in title? The mistake in title of the book was How to Change Your Wife in 10 Days. Millions sold. Right title was How to Change Your Life in 10 Days. Not a single copy sold. So here is life is emanating in the books of Gurnah. That is why it is related to life. You know, literature should not be unrelated to life. A true poem is born out of life. Even now, I feel best definition for poetry, spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. Spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings, emotion recollected in tranquility. So many definitions have come after that. But I still feel this is the definition of poetry. It is spontaneous. Even a poet, I also claim I am a poet. After you write a poem, you never feel, you can never believe you wrote it. The dissemination, the words, you cannot. Many great poets have told me, the latest who got from the Jnanpith Award, poet Akitam told me, after writing a poem, when he reads it, he can't believe he wrote it. He said, as a poet, my only job is to put one line here, one line there. It happens in the mind. It certainly springs from the mind. That is why Milton says, oh, the mind. The mind is its own place. The mind is its own place, and in itself can make a heaven of hell or a hell of heaven. Yes, we send the satellites. Of course, we are proud for the Indian scientists who are able to send Indian satellites. Chandrayaan is already a success. We have also sent satellites to the moon. Everything is possible in science. But for a poet, on the wings of his imagination, in a trice, he can traverse the entire 14 worlds and come back in a trice. That is the power of imagination. That is the power of imagination. Life stands still. I remember a no play. I think it's Moto Masilka. If I am wrong, please correct me. It's a no play, Japanese no play. There is a group of singers and revelers and dancers. They're dancing around a campfire. As the dance steps increase, the zest increases. There, at a subliminal height of poetry and dance, of music, they find the poet and the poem, the singer and the song, the dancer and the dance, all merge into one. Then all of them come to a single point in the fire. Everything is merged into one. Opposites are reconciled. That is what happens when a writer sits down to write. When a writer is fired by imagination, that is what happens. All opposites reconcile. And if I'm not wrong, yes, that is what T.S. Eliot says. What is the role of a poet? On Margate sands, I connect nothing with nothing. Connecting nothing with nothing. That is the duty of a writer. That's the duty of a poet. That's the duty of a novelist. Yes, this was first stated by Shakespeare. What does a poet do? Poet gives airy nothing, local habitation and a name. Poet gives to airy nothing, a local habitation and a name. I do not want to continue my lecture here. I am here for a humble submission of my book, which the Nobel Laureate has, I'm told, has agreed to release it. That's a collection of short stories written by me, maybe to add credibility to that and respectability. The title of the book is Chekhov and His Boys. Chekhov, is a great writer, and all short story writers after him are credited to be followers of Chekhov. That is why the book is titled Chekhov and His Boys. I do not want to comment on my book, but I can just present to you some of the reviews that have been received from the great writers of contemporary Bengal. Dr. Ram Kumar Mukhopadhyay said about this book, very powerful narrator, fresh and evocative, passion for compassion, a unique experience to read. Vinayak Bandapatiya said, it's a fantastic collection of short stories. Dr. Sanjukta Dasgupta has written the 25 short stories of Dr. C.V. Anand Bose's book, Chekhov and His Boys, span multiverse, the real, the imaginary, and the marginal, welding together with seamless ease the moral message of a timeless fable with contemporary lived experience. And my friend and education minister and the writer, Bratya Basu, has written a letter to me in which he says, your story genuinely left me awestruck. I feel that time is ripe for the Bengal cinema maker to weave it into movies. With this much of self-publicity in the beginning, I lay my books to Malvika to get it released, if possible, by the great writer and Nobel Laureate, our distinguished guest, Shri Gurnah. I remember I'm now a governor. I'm asked to speak on many topics everywhere, topics on which I have no knowledge about. I am reminded of one discomfiture which happened to me. I was culture secretary of the government. We decided to organize a great event in Vigyan Bhavan in Delhi. Great writers, singers, dancers, connoisseurs were all invited there. Then I got an information from the police commissioner. The students' union is likely to get into the hall and create some problem. Being a civil servant, I asked the commissioner to take necessary steps to provide adequate security inside and outside the hall. The commissioner said, sir, we will restrict entry by pass, security pass, in which the signature of the police commissioner is necessary. And to check it, we put policeman in mufti, that is in plain clothes. He was told, don't allow anyone, whoever he is, to enter the hall without the pass. Then comes Amjad Ali Khan. He forgot to take the pass. The policeman asked him, sir, pass. He said, I'm sorry, I've forgotten to take the pass. Sorry, sir, we cannot allow you in. Then the public said, this is the famous Amjad Ali Khan. We are honoring him today. That is true. But if he doesn't have a pass, what's the proof that he is Amjad Ali Khan? So Amjad played on the sitar. Okay, proof enough, he was selected. Then comes Amitabh Bachchan. Nobody can miss him. But the policemen are policemen, you know. They asked him, sir, where is the pass? Amitabh forgot to take the pass. Proof. He reeled out two dialogues from Diwar. He was proof enough, he was getting. Then comes KJ Yesudas, the singer. Pass, no pass. Proof. He sang two lines. Proof enough, he was legend. I didn't know any of these things as a culture secretary. I just came in, typical of those days, white ambassador car with red beacon light. Now, of course, it is forbidden, but still we try to use it. I came there, then straight away got into the hall. Policeman asked me, sir, pass. Pass? For me? Sir, everybody should have pass. For me, I am the culture secretary. He said, sir, we are not debating that, but this is the role, sir. You should have the pass, or you should give the proof. For me, pass and proof. Sir, please don't take it that way. The policeman told me, pleaded with me. Sir, Amjad Ali Khan came here. Yeshadas came here. Amitabh Bachchan came here. They did not have pass. They showed proof. I get wildly irritated. I say, Amjad Ali Khan, Yeshadas, Amitabh Khan, who are these guys? Policeman asked me, you don't know them. I don't know them. Why should I know them? Then the policeman told me, no more proof is required. You are the culture secretary. That shouldn't happen here. When great writers, Amitabh quotes are all here, I am told. In that assembly, I do not want to spend more time on speaking about literature. Moreover, this is organized by the Tata Steel, right? Yes. I have a story to tell that. In the speech, the governor is supposed to read out his speeches. My God, I cannot do that. I have a written speech, but I never read it out. When I remember by seeing the Tata here, maybe a story concocted by somebody, but it's a genuine, genial story. Ratan Tata has a habit. When the companies make profit and loss account is done, one company has made substantial profit. He knows that this is made possible by executives, like the vice president who is here. So he will invite all his senior executives for an outing for 3 days. It can be anywhere in Miami if they want, in Black Forest if you want, there, anywhere in the world. Somebody told him, sir, it's better to go to Sundarbans. He said, okay. So Ratanji was there, all his senior executives, family, children, they started boating in the lake. The lake is infested by crocodiles. As a mirth and merriment was going on in the boating, one young baby fell down in the lake from the arms of the mother. Panic everywhere, everywhere. So Ratan knew what to do, when to do, in the right time, in the right place. He took a decision. He said, whoever saves the boy will be given 10 crores of rupees as inam. Suddenly they saw the brave chief finance officer, whom nobody likes because finance officer means abominable no man. They deny your bill, they reduce the bill. So finance officers are not liked by people. But here, everybody thought he's a moron as a finance officer. He jumps down. The child somehow crawls onto him. He swims. The crocodile chases him. Look at things. Crocodile behind you, you swimming, child on your back. Somehow, the finance officer reaches the shore and the baby is saved. Instantly, he gets 10 crore rupees. Everybody praises his courage. You know what he asked first to his wife? Tell me, why did you push me into this first? So, before a very successful man, he's a woman. Yes. Now, When I see the Tatas here, a writer is also like that. You are always in the, we already pushed into the crocodile lake. You have to swim. Once you start a writer, keep on writing, 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 moving finger writes, having writ moves on. That is the fate of the writer. I'm sure this congregation of writers, rather this assembly of writers, is going to be epoch making about writers' conferences. There is a saying. Some political cynic said about writers. Writers are a group of persons who individually can do nothing, but collectively can sit together and decide that nothing can be done. I'm sure this is going to be an exception to this. Wish you the very best. Have a nice time. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. A wonderful and very enlightening and entertaining speech. I would now request you to move to the canvas to sign the canvas and ceremonially start the festival. Professor Gurnah, please. Launch of Chekhov and his boys.
Can we put our hands together? Another chapter of history created. May we now have the pleasure of requesting our honorable dignitaries to unveil Chekhov and his boys. Thank you very much. With this, the Tata Steel Kolkata Literary Meet 2024 is officially open. Would kindly request all of y'all to please stand up for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्रविड़ उत्कल बंगा हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे शुभ आशीष मांगे राहे तव जय गाथा मंगल गान जय हे जय हे जय हे जय हे
Thank you very much. Asante, and thank you very much to everybody. Would request our dignitaries to kindly enjoy the festival, and to all guests, distinguished guests and friends of the festival, please have a superb experience. The journey has just begun.